My dream? To become an engineer. My dream is to be a pilot. I would like to be a teacher. To teach children, learn to read, not to fight, and learn good things from others. To work from morning, I don't know, until 3:30. I love my life. I'd like to become a doctor, to treat patients in their homes, patients who would otherwise have nowhere to go. I'm here, I will study, study, study. I would like to be a footballer. I would like to be a car mechanic in the future. My dream is to be a journalist, a hockey player. I want to study, to learn to read and write, and to finish some course.
How are things, Mimoso? We're going back to Casa Margarida. What will you do now that you have passed your exam? You have passed your exam.
Yes, I've passed.
You've passed the school exam. What about the other exams, the national ones? That's where the fun begins. My brother, you have to make an effort. You left without a word, not even a goodbye. Hey, brother, sorry for interrupting your game.
Father Julio.
Hey, top scorer, you are the goalie? We are nearly in our neighborhood. They are playing. Look out, children. We go, we look for the hip flask elsewhere. Come, Mimoso.
To work. What?
As what?
Lay tiles. Lay tiles. I want to be a doctor in the future, so that I can help my family and my brothers and sisters. Though I can't even write my name. I would like to be a worker, mechanic, be an engineer. I would like to be older, to be able to study, to be more studious. My dream is to help my family. I would like to be a footballer. I plan to be a priest in the future. I would like to be a social worker, to help other children who live on the streets, abandoned. I suggest my brothers do the same, so that we can live here together. That's it. And you? What would you like to be in the future? A minister? Say something. Speak. Speak.
En realidad tenemos dos casas.
In reality, we have two homes. The first is a hostel to which children are sent to wash themselves, have a meal, sleep, and then go back on the streets the following day.
Y al día siguiente na rua. Essa casa,
This home, the Casa Magone, where we live, is a home for 45 to 50 people, where we offer education in literacy, primary education, as well as courses in electronics, refrigeration and spooling coils, as well as computing. Good morning. Do you see, sister? Mota is famous. Mota is no joke.
Mota no brinca.
Good morning. How are you?
na outra casa que
In the second home, the Casa Mama Margarida, children stay for the whole day.
Dá licença. Dá licença. Dá licença.
Can we? We will be visiting. How are things?
Este no. E aí? Oh, bom dia.
This home is special because it is a family house with Sister Berta, her husband and children, with this toddler as the youngest. The mother's presence is key here. She adds closeness, she cares for their development, and she's always ready to talk. Her husband, Gaddafi, not Muammar Gaddafi, just plain Gaddafi, he is her husband. They have 5 children of their own. Apart from the 5, they also look after these here rascals.
I have 5 children of my own and 15 that I look after as part of this project. 20 children altogether. We began with 8 children. That was in July 1999. Over 80 children have passed through this project. I have always liked working with children. Because of the war here in Angola, I saw many abandoned, unhappy children. Some because they had lost their fathers and mothers, and others because their families would not take them in. Others again because their parents could not cope and abandoned them to the streets. So when this project began, there was a need for somebody, a mother prepared to work with the Salesian community, and they invited me.
You write a word, and then you invent. You can read it this way, that way. You can read it upwards, downwards. Do you see?
We also have children from the streets who fled their families, sometimes because the father drank too much, returned home drunk and beat them. A child runs away onto the streets. Whilst at other times, because the mother went out to work in the morning, leaving the children to clean the house, wash the dishes, prepare lunch, look after the younger children, the child would get tired and so run away. At other times, they would run away because there was no food or money at home. And yet others, simply because they preferred life on the streets, wanted to be financially independent, to have their own money, their own things, which their fathers would not allow, so they quite simply ran away.
War was one of the factors, chaos, from which they fled to Luanda, thinking that they would find a more peaceful existence, as there is no war in towns. Many children fled. They came here to members of their family, an uncle, somewhere in one or other district, but they would not find them, lose contact with their families, and end up on the streets. One of the children in the Mama Margarida has a mother. The mother lives in Lunda, in a diamond-producing area where she trades. She told her child, "You have evil powers, you bring me bad luck." She began to beat the child, and so it ran away. Accused of witchcraft, the child completely forgets it ever had a family. Why? Because when it was with its family, it was condemned to death. You have evil powers, you have to die. That is why these children become orphans.
I ran away from my father's home because he bullied me. He mistreated me. I ran away from my home because my stepmother beat me very badly.
And where is your mother?
My mother is with her family.
And your father?
He is with his mother. I didn't like the noise, the result of my mother's drinking habit. She would often have rows with my grandmother. Nobody could stand it. One could not sleep. They would quarrel ceaselessly. My mother hit me a lot and didn't give me anything to eat. I robbed her, ran away, and later went to the island. I left my house because I was accused of being a witch. When my mother died, I was left with my uncles and grandmother. They later dubbed me a witch. My parents hit me, which is why I decided to run away onto the streets. My mother abandoned us, which is how I ended up on the streets. I began sleeping on the streets, and then later in some home. My father never looked after me. When he returned home drunk, he wouldn't even let me eat supper. He preferred to beat me, even unconscious.
A child on the streets is defenceless, a victim of all kinds of violence: sexual abuse, drugs, theft, physical exploitation, because some adults beat them. Some regarded them as cheap labor and even sent them out to steal. Go, steal, and bring us the money. Some children were beaten up, beaten all over, whilst others were sexually abused by adults.
We can all see how AIDS is spreading here in Angola. The Roca Santeiro district even has its own child brothels. It's spreading, truly spreading. The first problem children have is drugs. Light drugs to begin with, like petrol sniffing and some medicines, followed by drink in the winter season, heavy drinking. Nobody's making any noise. Good. You spend your time studying, playing, eating snacks. Those who go out get money. Others stay to study. Yes? We must work on. Those who have begun a course, whether in electronics, refrigeration, or spooling coils, will shortly begin their classes. Preparation is very important, right? Very good. Now we will thank God, our Father, who gives us this time to regain our strength.
Em nome do Pai, do Filho e do Espírito Santo. Ave Maria, cheia de graça, o Senhor é convosco. Bendita sois vós entre as mulheres, bendito é o fruto do vosso ventre, Jesus. Santa Maria, Mãe de Deus, rogai por nós, pecadores, agora e na hora de nossa morte. Maria, auxílio dos cristãos, rogai por nós, do Pai, do Filho e do Espírito Santo. Pira, pira, pit, papi, vamos lá, papi.
Sit down, sit down. Are you ill? Don't feel too well? Where is your exercise book? Your book? You don't have an exercise book? Why didn't you ask for one? You also don't have one? How many of you? 1, 2, 3? None of you have exercise books? You know that all of you should have an exercise book and a pencil. All you have to do is ask.
My life on the streets was not good. I went to the island, worked with one aunt in a barrack. I worked and she paid me nothing. One day I stole 4,000 from her and ran away. I worked, loaded cars. When I finished loading, the evening came. I sat on the streets and begged. We began as shoe shiners, then someone told us about the orphanage, so we went there. I would go into the religious house, steal some money, and then with this money, I would get myself drunk. I had many fights, hurt many people. That's why I came here. They bullied me, did bad things, beat me and so on. The person who taught me to sniff petrol was a friend. I lived from drugs. Was it difficult to buy drugs on the streets? No. Why? Because it was easy. The lads go to Roquet and buy them and resell them on the streets. Is life good on the streets? No, it's not good. I suggest to those on the streets not to stay there. Is there violence on the streets? A lot of violence. Are there fights? There are fights and aggression against children. There are adults who injure themselves until dead. There are deaths on the street. One friend couldn't take it and died.
Violence is ever present in our district at all times of the day. We have had 6-7 years of peace, but social peace is ever lacking. Everyone is armed with hand and machine guns. Young people who walk the streets shoot at night so that one has to hide or simply stay home. This aggression and violence is the consequence of the times we are living in. No one is in control, nobody has been disarmed. The government gave out these weapons and now finds it difficult to take them back. They traded arms, even the police do it. They confiscate them here and sell them to others. Violence is particularly prevalent in 2 districts, Kazenga and in Sambizanga, where we are now. We begin the game. We split into 5 teams. 4 teams of 7. Because you have a few weak players. But okay. Jackie. Are the 4 teams ready? Quickly. Choose. Wait, captains. Those who pull out the shortest sticks will play.
¿Cuál es más cortés? Este soy. La bola de aquí. Está pesado, Está pesado,
Nós temos que fazer aquilo que eles gostam.
We have to give them what they like so that with time they take what we offer them. Offer them pleasant things like sport. Sport is important and encouraged here because sport educates if it is properly supported. We're not talking about sports where each does what he wants, fighting. No, you become part of a team which leads you to some end if you learn to cooperate.
First, we offer them trust and remain at their disposal, which enables them to tell us about their dramas. Where there is trust, friendships develop. The whole secret is that we don't take the child off the streets and bring him directly. No. We go out from here onto the streets first. Now we have Casa Magone, a centre that one can regard as a filter. A child leaves behind everything that was bad in Magone. But we would become their friends even earlier, whilst they were still on the streets. And we would tell them, you have to decide about your life. Make a choice. Do you want to stay on the streets, or to be in a place where you can learn, where your health will be monitored, where you will be more or less properly fed? And he stays on the streets with that knowledge, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 months, thinks and finally says, I want to go with you. That is when we bring him here.
I lived on the streets with my friends who wanted to teach me to take drugs, but I refused. I have one friend who said, there is a certain orphanage. He took me and led me here to Magone. When I was on the streets, religious people would continually approach me. Convent sisters, they took me off the streets. I'm in the Magone orphanage. I study and I feel better. I don't smoke or drink. I don't do any of those things. I don't drink alcohol or anything. When I first came here, I was very restless. I wanted to continue to take drugs, to smoke. I thought, no, this won't work. But they continued to persuade me to stop, and they succeeded. I stayed here, began to eat well, so that I now look normal. I'm a good student. I feel better here. we immediately began to play table soccer. I'm studying, playing football, eating. When we leave school, we come here, tidy our books, then I go for a walk. A little later I have a bath, sit and eat with my friends. I'm a good boy. I behave well. I should add that it is I who washes the dishes. I wash the dishes after supper. I came here to study, to help my mother, and do so many things when I grow up. Help my father, our sisters, our grandparents, our uncles, our families, everybody, to stay here in Angola. I will stay here and we shall see how things develop, whether they go well or not. God is with us and helps us. We are here for now. And that's all I have to say. Do you like Father Julio? I like him. Why? Because he helps me a lot. Can I go now?
Ciao, a te a mañana. ¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Como fala Don Bosco.
As Don Bosco used to say, upbringing is a matter of the heart. They need somebody to welcome them when they return, to inquire about their well-being and attend to their needs, to caress and hug them, to play their favorite game, and thereby with time surround them with affection. One should never hit a child. He already has to fight on the streets. When he comes home, every child must be welcomed in a friendly atmosphere, that when he leaves or runs away, he misses the atmosphere and so wants to return here. You have come for the capoeira?
No, we're altar servers.
But why can you not come to the capoeira? Service of the capoeira. It is great. Look over there. Look at that child. Look at that kid. Show your arrangements. Look at that kid go. Except that your trousers are overlong. Now this one, look at him. He will land on the wall. Like so. Exactly so. Blimey. He's a star. That one is better than me. That kid really knows the ropes. Not bad, eh? Not a bad fellow.
There's never been a case of a child who, having stayed here, continued to be bad. Negative behavior is normal. Our biological children are also like that. Not every child is well-mannered, but we have no major problems. They stay here, and once they gain confidence and establish friendships, they become sons of this house. Sometimes you would be hard-pushed to differentiate between my biological son and one from the project.
We no longer have to go out on the streets in search of children. The boys create their own publicity. Look, we're going to the Magone home, where we eat, study, and so step by step they come to us. Of course, some return to the streets, but I believe that 90% of those who come here stay, and with time achieve successes that are important to them. We watch boys who were advanced drug addicts who drank heavily and see how they change. For example, I was very surprised today to see kids I hadn't yet reached already organizing themselves. This group here, the others over there, we go to study. There are 40 of you. When 5 more join, there'll be 45. Go and tell Sister Bertha that Father asks to lend him 5 plates.
5 plates.
Go now, okay? How many are there?
43 loaves.
43?
We will be 1 short.
We will be 1 loaf short. This work is about making them take responsibility for themselves. It would be easy to employ somebody, a cook who buys and prepares everything. They would come and everything would be ready. The aim is to add value to what they themselves do. This is our storeroom. Everything here is well organized. He looks after it. We buy food every 2-3 weeks. We have supplies here for snacks, lunch, for this home and for Casa Margarida. It's never been empty up to now. It's always full. They eat, and somehow the wheel turns.
We receive no help from the government. We receive help from individuals, friends of the Salesian family, from the community. We have a parish community, St. Paul. They sometimes visit us and bring all sorts of things: food, school stationery. The young sometimes organize a cultural evening with music, where the entry ticket is rice, an apple, oil. This is our life.
A Salesian upbringing is based on religious instruction, understanding and love. In other words, sensibility. That enables us to create a certain climate which is very important. They begin to discover others and to appreciate that they are neither scallywags nor aggressive, but just like them. By so doing, they themselves, slowly but surely, create the brotherly atmosphere of respect and sensibility. This is neither simple nor easy, because this is an admittance home, with many new and unknown faces. They can rob, do this and that, bring drugs. Their carer must be vigilant to ensure that no drugs or benzene or any such things ever reach the home. Come here, please.
Give me water, Father.
You will receive water. Wait. A boy will bring you some. All right? The older 16 or 17-year-olds are responsible for the younger ones. We discovered that we have to give them responsibility, trust them, and thereby they begin to respond, to think. I'm also important. He is giving me this responsibility. I can't let him down. We have to discuss Bernardo's case. The boy was offered a course and he doesn't like it.
I talked with Jacinto about him, whether he wanted to complete the course. He said that he didn't.
Really, if he doesn't want, there is little we can do.
He could study in the evenings. He doesn't want to study in the evenings.
In that case, one of you must go. Both of you are responsible for the children's education, you too.
I'll go.
You have to see what the problem is.
The problem is he hasn't attended school for a month. A month? I am his godfather, but he hasn't spoken to me about this. In my view, the one who works with the child at the beginning should guide him more closely, together with his godfather, because that encourages him to be more responsible. But there is one other aspect. The child must have someone to talk to. For example, I might be some boy's godfather, but he won't necessarily open up before me, whereas he will open up before Adam or a sausage.
Which is why we have our Thursday meeting, to exchange views, talk. I am grateful to those who came in spite of the holidays. Instead of sleeping longer, you devoted this time to be with us, to find out what the problems are and exchange views.
We've succeeded thanks to you.
Okay, hold on, catch it.
Tempted.
Tempted? Again. Your turn will come. It's his now. Catch. The one who catches now will get 5 kwanza, right? You want to catch it now?
Yes, I'll catch it immediately.
Go and play. He will be in my team. Come, kiddo. I'll play with him. Who loses leaves. Run. No, to 1 goal. 1 goal and that's it. Hold on, kiddo. You two go and play. Go. Let loose. Kiddo, shoot.
Chuta! Sì! Chuta, meu! Chuta, meu! Golo! É golo! É golo! Ai!
Bola, vai! É minha equipe!
Oh.
The police have already shot 8 boys in a single night. 1, even 2 were boys from one of our groups. Innocent children, innocent boys, they mistook them for someone else. One of them was trying to do good by being there, exactly like us. If somebody is a hooligan, we don't arrest him. We will try to bring him here to help him see that there are other values. That boy was doing exactly that, he said. We have to do something. Let us go to the French embassy and ask them whether they will lend us a video camera. Let us do something to let the world see the reality of Mota. I got here from Argentina in December of 1992. It used to be said that you could only meet three types of people: the accompanied villagers and city dwellers, madmen, the military, and missionaries, the 3 M's. I saw boy soldiers on both sides. They were called rusgas, groups of children taken by soldiers or guerrillas. 8 to 10-year-old children. There were many. They carried weapons and other materials. The situation changed their mindset totally. Violence takes over a human being very quickly. It is very easy to brainwash a child. Far more difficult to clean it, pull him out of a violent mindset. It's as if these children were condemned to kill, and to make it worse, the child thinks he's doing good. When I first settled here, they came in, aimed at me and said, "You have to die, Father, because you won't do us any good here." I had no means of defense. People who lived here began to shout, "But he's a priest." And the one who was aiming at me left me and went to another room because he was stoned. Another violent situation I intervened in involved 2 boys who attacked one of our boys. They threatened me with a pistol. Here, take this telephone if you want, but leave the boy.
God, I'm stoned. What's going on? I'm always here. They know me. I'm always here. They are my friends. I grew up with them. We ate together, studied, and played. So now we are here, friends forever. That I have survived to this age is, my friend, purely thanks to God. Yes, thanks to God. We need your help. One more chance.
A Salesian cannot rest so long as there are young people who lead lives guided by values other than those of the gospel. My dream is exactly that: to redeem these young people, give them a profession, create a place for them to spend their free time where they can meet, to go out to them on the streets, into blind alleys, and give them a helping hand, so that they do not go off track. To be here, that is my dream. Be here to tell these young people, which one of you will take up the challenge to live with Christ? As our unforgettable John Paul II used to say, Christ takes nothing away. He gives you everything.
What's your name? Mimi. What's this? That's a car. And here? Here, that's a dog's tooth. A dog's tooth? A dog bit you here? Yes. And here? That was an accident. An accident? Yes. You lost 2 teeth? Yes. What else? Do you have a wound on your belly or on your back? No. Not on your legs? No. Only on my back. On your back? Show me. Turn around. Here. Who did this to you? Kako. With his elbow. My back. With his elbow like so. He hit you? Yes. Head. My head. Here. Show me. Here in the middle? Yes. He hit me with a charger. Who hit you? A bloke. Did it bleed? Yes. My leg also hurts me now. Show me a leg. Here. I'll press to check whether you feel any pain. This part here hurts, yes? Yes. Where do you live? I don't remember. You don't remember? No. What led you to run away from home? What did your mother and father do that you ran away from home? He beat me. He hit you? Why? What did you do? Nothing. Nothing? He often came back drunk and beat me. Mimi, we'll take you off the streets to Casa Magone, okay? Yes. Casa Magone is a center for street children. In the morning you study, then you eat breakfast, play football. Then you study a little more. You'll have friends. You'll have teachers who will look after you. There will be a priest who will help you. If you ever have a problem, you will talk with the father, okay? Yes. Are you sad? No. Do you know how to play football? Yes. What else can you do? Study, read and write. Read and write? That's quite something. We found this small boy on the street, and we decided to take him in for the night here in the center. We'll introduce him to the other carers tomorrow. Do you have something to eat? Okay, we'll give him supper. After the supper, he will take a bath. You'll go and eat supper, all right? Come, Bernardo. Come. Take the lid off the pot. There's food in the pot. Nothing? You'll have a bath after supper. Do you understand? So that you will clean. And then you will rest, okay? I don't have a sheet. A blanket will suffice. You will get a blanket. When I come here tomorrow morning, I must say that you have treated this boy well. Do you understand? Come, come. I'm not saying. He has a carer here on hand, but everyone must know. Tell them your name. Say it. This is Mimi, our new brother in this home.
There will always be a street, there will always be a child, and that child will ask us with his gaze, "What have you done to get me out from here?" And so I will always walk the streets.